Hello everyone, this episode of introduction by me and CX will be about deck building in Skygalleon. So CX, can you tell us more about deck building in Skygalleon?
Alright, okay, for deck building in Skygalleon is there are a lot of how do I say restrictions put in place. Though you might notice that the core fundamentals are about the same as with any other CCGs. As you guys might know, collecting collectible card games. So the first thing that you might notice right now straight away is the cost. It's a cost limit. Just like any other CCGs, you have a cost limit for all the cards that you have, and it's the same for Skygalleon as well. Though that's one unique thing about it. There is the cost limit. The highest cost limit for this game at any given time is 27, which means that no matter how high you train up, your cost limit will always be 27 in the end. Okay, so for those who don't know how to play around with the cost limit, it's actually very simple. Take a look at this card that's the cost here, and so all you have to do is to put cards inside here and make sure that their cost doesn't go above 57. If it goes above 27, you won't be able to make the deck, and so on and so forth. So that's all about the cost, really. I mean, that's all about the similarities. The rest are all, well, I could say pretty unique, I guess. So first of all, in Skygalleon there are positional things that you have to contemplate about.
You mean that the way you position your cards does have an effect on the game?
Well, first let's get back to looking at Athena's skills one more time. You notice that she has 3 skills: the front, middle, and back row skills. So what that means is she has to be at the front, the middle, or the back row to use those respective skills. Assuming maybe I'll use a back row skill, yes, sure, I can put her at the back, but however, I cannot make the deck with just her at the back, with just Athena at the back alone, because I need cards to be at the middle and the front. And that's when the game comes in. It becomes a little bit more complicated. So for those who cannot read Japanese, what this actually means is literally no card. There is no card in this particular position. So to fulfill the criteria, just put a couple of cards in front, and then you'll be done. Same goes to anything in the second row, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is it for the positioning of cards. And another thing unique to this game is you cannot have cards of the same name, or should I say the same number. And yep, let's see, we have other restrictions as well. One is the first restriction, which I'll show you later, is card limitation, number limitation. So let's take a look at this one. Balor has this particular value here. It means limit, literally, and the limit is 2. So what this means is you can only have up to 2 of this particular card, of cards with this particular restriction in your deck. And you can look at this as well. She is Amaterasu, and she also has this restriction, so I can put one more of her here. But however, if I try to add one more rule with the same restriction, there'll be a problem, and I won't be able to make the deck. So there are also other restrictions as well for numbers wise that applies to legendary cards. And legendary cards have this 1 card restriction. However, you can put one legendary card and one of the card with this particular restriction. For some reason, even I am unable to explain myself. So another restriction that this game has is positional restriction. So it means that cards can only be put in maybe the front or the middle or the back or any of the three positions, but you can't put it anywhere else. So for this case, Sebek has a positioning restriction, this one here, of being at the front and the middle. But if you try to put it at the back, they will say that you can't put it at the back. The same goes for other cards as well. Let me hold on a moment. My personal favorite right now, I'm Asmodeus. Asmodeus can only be put at the back row. You can't put him in the you can't put him in the middle or the front row. And that's it for positional restrictions. So yeah, that is all for restrictions in deck making.
So among all these restrictions, you still have to build a deck, all keeping all these restrictions in mind, so that you can't make decks that is restricted by this restriction, which they do not allow your deck to be played in game. So do be careful when you think of like, wow, this card has good ability when placed in front, but however you can only be placed them at the back. Why? Because it's too good to be placed in the front.
So just take note that it's all about balance. You can't just place cards wherever you as and where you like. Even rare cards also have that sort of restriction if their skills are really strong at certain positions.
Indeed. So do take note during deck building, what is one of the core main gameplay in order for you to win. Or if you place a card wrongly or place in bad position, they cannot work properly with each other, and you're as good as tripping yourself in the
kicking yourself in the nuts.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Yep, and that's it for the basics of deck making. Next up, we will talk about how cards can work together.
We'll talk about how cards work in the future, as well as different deck strategies, whether it could be damaging or for any other special effects in the game. But that we'll be leaving it for the next video.
Yep, for now, you are pretty much ready to start the game. Oh yeah, one more thing. I think I forgot to mention it before we end this. Inventory in Skygalleon is unlimited. Very unlimited.
Basically, there's unlimited amount of cards of the same cards.
Yep.
And you don't need to be afraid that there's a limit. So just leave it as that.
Yep, have fun. And goodbye.